On June 7th, 2023, people in New York City were taking pictures like this. The city was covered by an eerie red fog, and on that day, the air quality in New York City was the worst in the world. This wasn't from something local. It was smoke from 600 miles away, drifting down from massive wildfires in Canada. These fires were emitting nearly 3 billion tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, more than the annual emissions of entire countries. The smoke didn't only affect New York, it also covered large parts of the United States, and even crossed the Atlantic Ocean, reaching parts of Western Europe. For many Americans, especially in the East, this was a wake-up call. Wildfires are now a growing threat everywhere, and climate change is playing a major role. As global temperatures rise, fire seasons are getting longer, droughts are more common, and heat waves are more intense. These extreme conditions make it easier for fires to ignite, and much harder to control them once they start. Even places that weren't traditionally fire-prone are starting to feel the heat. For example, the fall of 2024 was the driest time in New Jersey in 22 years.
I'm praying for rainfall because we haven't had any for so long, and look at all the leaves around on the ground. It's bound to happen.
That drought helped fuel a series of wildfires that burned more than 24,000 acres of forest and land in the state. Evacuations were ordered, ecosystems were damaged, and once again, smoke drifted into the skies over New York City. This isn't a one-time event. It's part of a larger trend. Wildfires are becoming more common in the Northeast, and that includes places like the Pinelands. The Pinelands stretch over 1.1 million acres of South Jersey. They're home to rare plants, animals, and some of the oldest surviving forests in the eastern United States. Here's the twist. Wildfires aren't always bad. In fact, in this ecosystem, they're essential. Species of tree like pitch pine and scrub oak have evolved over millennia to survive and even thrive with fire. Pitch pine cones are serotinous, which means they only release their seeds when exposed to high heat. Fire helps clear the forest floor, opens up sunlight, and regenerates the landscape. Under normal circumstances, forest fires can help sustain these ecosystems and keep forests resilient over time. But that delicate balance is starting to break. Today's wildfires are not like the fires of the past. They're hotter, more intense, and they often burn too frequently or spread too far. This makes it harder for even fire-adapted species to recover. In ecosystems that rely on periodic, low-intensity fires, today's megafires can be destructive. And in areas that aren't adapted at all, they're catastrophic. The smoke released by these fires adds massive amounts of carbon to the atmosphere, fueling a dangerous climate feedback loop. Hotter temperatures lead to more fires, and more fires lead to more emissions. It's a cycle that turns forests from carbon sinks into carbon sources, and it's accelerating. What's the solution? Experts say we need a two-part strategy. Globally, we have to reduce greenhouse gas emissions to slow the pace of climate change. That means shifting to clean energy, protecting forests, and cutting pollution from industry and transportation. Locally, land managers need better tools. More prescribed burns, better forest thinning, and smarter planning to prevent fires from being uncontrollable. And lastly, it's important to realize that 90% of all wildfires are caused by humans. And as Smokey the Bear once said, only you can prevent wildfires. The Canadian wildfires of 2023 were the spark. The wildfires across New Jersey and around the world are the flame. This is what a climate crisis looks like, and it's already here. But together, through action and awareness, we can work together to slow climate change and put out the flames.